Hi, welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. This is Debbie, and we are here looking at the update on the seeds that we had planted and some of the plants that are coming up. We have quite a bit that is coming up. In fact, I've had almost 100% germination on a lot of things. There are some things that are still not up yet because it does take quite a long time for things like peppers and um, artichokes, things like that, for those to come up. Sometimes it can take weeks. So it has been about 75 degrees in this little sunroom. We have a lot of sun that comes in. Plus, we have lights that are on these as well. But you can see here we have our windows here, and it is a wall of windows in this room, on south facing room that is attached to our dining room. So we grow a lot of our plants here. Right now we have some amaryllis that are bloomed as well. Beautiful red color. And we did just have some pink and white ones, but those are dying back now. But look at those gorgeous red blooms on that amaryllis. And it had two big stalks of blooms, and so did the pink and white as well. The other one is already gone, but we did get a lot of blooms out of that one, and it looks like we actually have some more leaves coming up on this one as well. And we have tomatoes that are ripening right now here in the growing room. You can see those. This is the orange hat tomatoes. They're an indoor tomato, specifically designed to grow indoors on a windowsill. And they are cherry tomatoes, but they're kind of large for cherry tomatoes, as you can see here. And they are just delicious, and they're a determinate variety. However, I have found that if you trim the bottom, you will get new shoots that'll grow, and then they will bloom and produce as well. I've done that successfully now a couple of times. I've got a few of these tomatoes in here right now. And you can see this one over here is the original one that I had and is now going on 2 years old. And I just keep trimming around the bottom. It comes back out with a new shoot and it starts blooming again. You can see those there. And we've got some tomatoes that are showing up on it. So I have found that you can keep these going if you just continue to trim them. So anyway, going back to the seedlings, we have 100% germination on our lettuce leaf basil. You can see that. We do have one artichoke that is up so far. And I do see some swelling on the soil, which means there's some other ones that are coming up. This is the Berry's Crazy Cherry Tomato, and we had 5 out of the 6 that came up. Of course, one of them still could come up. They are fairly new, having came up within just the last couple of days. So it is possible that we could have that other one come up. But again, almost 100% germination because I literally only planted one seed per cell, and tomatoes are notorious for not having all come up. We've had about half of the super sauce tomatoes come up, actually 4 out of the 6. So it's still possible for those to come up because they just started coming up. And we have 4 out of the 6 that came up on the Kellogg's breakfast tomatoes. Those seeds are kind of old. I've been saving them. And we have eggplants coming up so far. They have just started, so I'm not going to really give any type of germination rate on those yet. We had all of our giant oxheart tomatoes come up. All of the yellow pear tomatoes came up. And all of the giant pink Belgiums came up. In fact, I planted 2 seeds per cell, and every one of those came up. I'm going to have to separate them. Then we have our tango celery here. All of those came up. There's going to be a lot to have to separate because celery seed is notorious for also not having very good germination. So you plant a lot of seeds in each cell and then hope for the best. I think only one of the cells did not come up. And it may be that I just missed putting seeds in there because you get kind of sometimes a little jumbled up on what you're planting sometimes. But we have plenty to separate from some of the other cells, and that will go into that cell. And then all of our petunias came up. Crazy amount of petunias, so I have to separate these. Again, they're kind of like celery. You plant a whole lot in each cell just to try to get them to come up, and look at that. So we have a lot to separate there. Same thing happened with our pansies. Not quite as many. I didn't sow them as thickly in each one, but you can see they have all cells are full. So we have some separating to do there. Again, the peppers are just now starting to come up. These just came up yesterday, and that is the mild jalapeno. And some of the others I can look from a different angle, and you can see that they are starting to come up. We have some Pequin chilies here. Those are just starting to come up. But again, here is our sweet 100s. These are a midnight pear tomato variety, and they have all came up. And then we had 5 out of the 6 on the mortgage lifter tomatoes. But it looks like I may have accidentally put 2 seeds in this one cell, so I'll have to separate those, and the same here. So those will fill out the 2 cells that are empty on these. So great germination rate so far. Do I see a difference in having lights versus not having lights? Because typically each year I plant my seeds without lights in this south facing area. And I would have to say no. I haven't seen any difference with having lights or not having lights. It's been the same rate of germination. Here are the lights that we have. They're just called Easy Grow. They're just basically tray sized. And we have them about 6 inches, I guess, above the plants. Maybe if I had moved them a little closer, there would have been a better germination rate, but I really doubt it. We do not use heat pads or anything because it gets plenty warm in this growing room area. Sometimes this growing room gets up to 80 degrees. So plenty of warmth here, and it holds it throughout the time. But just amazing amount of growth going on. And lots of separating that'll have to be done soon, because these tomatoes will get really big pretty fast, and we don't want to have them get spindly or anything. And they're starting to get their true leaves now on some of them. So anyway, that is the update on the growing room. Hope everyone has liked it. To see how it does here in Wyoming, this is Cheyenne, Wyoming, Garden Zone 5A, 5B. Again, we are inside starting these plants in the south-facing growing windows, but I am using lights this season, and I have not really seen a difference in the growth rate. Still really good growth rate either way. I typically have a really good germination on most of my seeds, and a lot of these are saved seeds. So the super sauce tomatoes are saved. The petunias were saved. The pansies were saved. I think the only ones that were new were the Sweet 100 Midnight Pears and the Mortgage Lifter. Pretty much everything else from there are seeds that we either saved or have had around for some years. So again, saving your seeds from year to year can be very cost efficient, and you do still get good germination rates. So there you have it. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out, and we will see you in the next one.